Hey y'all. Okay, so this is my week 5 Mounjaro update. I took my second 5 milligram shot this morning that we're going to be talking about last week. Okay, so I gave myself the shot on the right side of my belly button. Some people say that the areas that you give the shot will cause side effects and hunger suppression to be different. So since that was my first 5 milligram shot, I can't really speak on that as of today. I didn't notice any difference on the 2.5, but a lot of people say not to even like try to gauge a whole lot based on the 2.5 because it's like a loading dose. Just introducing your body to the medication and whatnot. So I don't know. I've not been taking the medication long enough, and there's a lot more people on here that know a lot more as far as like the scientific stuff than I do. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to get that from me, because I will surely mess up some information somewhere along the line. So I'm just going to talk about my experience. About an hour after I gave myself the shot, I had some stomach cramps. They weren't intense as the cramps that I had the morning after I took my first 2.5 shot. Like, I was still able to go about the rest of my day. I'm trying to think if I went anywhere that day. I don't think I left the house that day regardless, but they didn't last long. The cramping didn't last long. I felt some nausea later that evening. And then, let's see, I read my notes. The day after, so I gave myself the shot last Thursday. Friday night, y'all, I could not fall asleep to save my life. The last time that I remember seeing the clock, the time on the clock was a few minutes after 5 a.m. And so, yeah, I have trouble sleeping a lot of times anyway, but not to that degree. So I'm thinking that was definitely shot related. The next day, I had a headache, probably a combination of the shot and due to not sleeping. I had no appetite, so I feel like that kicked in pretty quick versus the 2.5. And I noticed on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, smells of certain scents were making me sick to my stomach. My husband wanted to go to Captain D's. It was one of those days that I just mentioned. And as soon as I opened the door and that smell hit me in the face, I thought I was going to have to make a beeline to the bathroom because it made me sick to my stomach. But it passed. I was able to go in with him and sit down and eat a little bit of my meal. And when you see us eating out like that, or even eating at home, or if I'm at home and it's something on my plate, before anybody says anything about how wasteful I appear to be, like, yeah, I got 4 kids and 6 grandkids, 7th grandkid on the way, a grown ass son at home who still lives at home. Somebody's eating that food, I promise. It's not going in the trash before anybody, thinks that. But usually when I eat out, I will drop off leftovers to my daughter if it's something that she likes, or I'll bring it home to my son. I was able to eat a little bit of that food. And I don't think I felt sick afterwards that day. So that was okay. Monday morning, I woke up hungry, but on Saturday, I think that's the day that I was hardly able to eat anything. So it's, you know, natural that I would wake up Sunday hungry. The goal of this medication, for myself, I can't speak on everybody, is not to never feel hunger. I mean, your body needs food just to function and for you to stay alive. It's decrease in hunger and mindless eating and food chatter, food noise, whatever you call it. Cravings for me with menopause has been killer. So those are the things that the shot is helping me with. Like I said, I don't expect to never feel hungry, or even if you don't feel the hunger like in your stomach, that's where I felt the hunger Monday morning. I mean, just pay attention to your body. If you start feeling weak, grab a bite to eat, whether your stomach feels hungry or not, because that's what the medication is, you know, mainly going to do. Well, I shouldn't say mainly, but as far as your stomach hunger goes, it's going to make you feel full faster. You're going to feel full longer. The food is going to stay in your stomach longer. I'm having a hot flash, y'all, sorry. Okay, so because of what I'm trying to say is because of what the shot does as far as like you feeling hungry in your stomach, pay attention to the other hunger signs, that your signals that your body will give you. If you start feeling lightheaded, sis, go grab you a bite to eat. If you start feeling weak, just go grab you a bite to eat. Just a few bites of something. Because the last thing you want to do is be passing out on the floor, okay? Just you got to feed your body. Okay, Monday after I woke up hungry, I mean, it wasn't something that I like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to die. That type of hunger. I just noticed it, you know what I mean? So I got up that morning. It was probably business as usual. I had a cup of coffee. Because I'll be posting at the end of this what I ate, how I usually do. Because I didn't write down what I ate here because I videoed it. I was tired that day and just felt like blah, kind of. So that was, let's see, that was like 4 days after the shot. So you can't really go by what everybody else says and try to figure out how the shot is going to affect you, because a lot of people that I watch on here say that they feel that tiredness related to the shot like days 1 and 2 the most. It's not like that for me. I start feeling that like mid-range. And the hunger suppression has been different for me than what other people say. Now, this time with the 5 milligram, I did notice less hunger right out the gate, so to speak. So that was different for me in comparison to the 2.5. And there was 1 or 2 mornings that I had to skip my morning coffee, 2 mornings, which is very unusual for me because I woke up nauseous. Now, if I'm skipping my coffee, then the nausea was something to talk about. So it was definitely more, the nausea was definitely more of a thing for me with the 5 milligram than it was the 2.5. And I'm going to show you what I got. I ordered these from Amazon. And I have to say, I noticed that they did help. Now, did it make it completely go away? No, just made it a little more tolerable. It's these ginger chews, and the bags are empty because I have them in a container. You can get them in different flavors, different size packages. I got the variety pack, so I got in that variety pack, I got the original, lemon, coconut, which I thought would be my favorite because usually anything and everything coconut is, but the mango is actually my favorite. So, and the nutrition facts on these are all the same. 15 calories for a serving. One candy is a serving. So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. 15 calories is really nothing. You can inhale and exhale deeply, probably once or twice, just and burn 15 calories. So, 4 carbs and 3 grams of sugar. These are, I mean, they're tiny, tiny little candies. And the sugar is on there. But overall, you're not really eating that much, more than likely, if you're on a GLP-1 shot anyway. So it's just if it's worth the trade-off to you. Is it worth 15, 30 calories if you eat 2 of those, or just dealing with the nausea? To me, 15 calories, I'm not really going to stress myself out over that. So my energy, let's see. I really need to work on keeping better notes. But I just wrote here on Monday, even though that morning I did feel nauseous, like I said, it didn't last long. I was able to lift weights that day with no issue. Tuesday, I had more energy, but I also had, you know, a little more appetite. I mean, I didn't eat a lot on any of these days. These are just things that I noticed an increase from day to day. Yesterday, my energy was good, but I didn't have much of an appetite. I actually tried to sit down and eat and only took like 1 or 2 bites and just couldn't. And I really thought that I was going to be able to put a dent in my dinner because I hadn't ate hardly anything that day. But no, I couldn't. And so still, I would liken this to the early days of gastric sleeve surgery. Like I said in my previous videos, I do see the similarities. Excuse me, for sure. I was going to show you how many candies I got in that variety pack. Now, I've ate a few. I haven't ate, you know, a massive amount. And I can't remember how much the variety pack was, but I'll link it down below. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. It's just to show you how you can get some if you want them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you my stats, I guess. Let's see. So my starting weight with Mounjaro. Mounjaro was not my first GLP-1 shot. My starting weight with any of the shots was 199.9, which happened after around a 20-some pound, give or take a pound or 2, weight gain after my tummy tuck. So when I started Mounjaro, I weighed in at 177. Last week, I was 176.2. And if catch my other videos and I talk about, you know, what I expected with my weight loss that month, first month on the lowest dose. I didn't expect much since I was already coming from another GLP-1 and it was a higher dose. So I wasn't really, you know, disappointed in any manner because, excuse me, I was just staying realistic about it. So, let's see. this morning I weighed in at 172.8. So within a week of just jumping up to that 5 milligram, yeah, I lost 3.4 pounds. And I'm happy about that. I didn't see that coming at all. I really didn't think that I would lose that much. I thought maybe a pound or two, but no, 3.4. So I thought that was pretty good. And now my head's spinning like everybody else's with the shortages. As of right now, the 5 milligram is not showing up on the FDA shortage list, but that doesn't mean that it won't be on that list come next Friday, I think it is, when I am able to pick up my refill. So fingers crossed on that, and fingers crossed for you, because I know, you know, everybody, no matter what milligram you're on, is your mind is, your wheels are turning about what to do if you can't get your shot at your local pharmacy. And I hear a lot of people on here saying, call ahead and put in for your refill, have it lined up. I can't do that with my insurance. Like, my pharmacist can't even put it in the computer and like have it ready to go until that day. So I'm just kind of like, it's just a waiting game for me, just like with everybody else. I do plan to call around at some different pharmacies to see if anybody has it in stock. If my guy doesn't, of course I'm going to always go with him first. He's just who we've always, you know, dealt with, who we, not that I don't trust anybody else, but it's just, I mean, you know, you develop a relationship with, you know, a pharmacist, your doctor, and whatnot. And we live in a small town, so definitely prefer to stick with my small town guy first and foremost. But if I can't get the shot, if he can't get it for me, I know he's going to understand that as well. If I have to be like, okay, well, can you send my refill to Walmart and find out what I need to do about that? He's not going to be upset with me. But as far as compound pharmacies go, I've not really looked into that. Not sure how my insurance feels about that, or what kind of coverage they would even provide on something like that. I really have no information on that. The only thing that I can tell you on that, as far as myself personally, is I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared to give myself an actual shot, to draw it out of a vial and do all that. It just doesn't faze me. So that's always an option for me if need be on down the road. But hopefully I'll be able to get these shots next week, and hopefully you will too, because it really sucks when it starts helping and then you can't get your hands on it. That's what happened to me with the Saxenda. And then when it was back in stock, my insurance decided, we're not going to do that for you anymore. So it was just a mess. And I'm trying not to focus on that and keep, you know, good thoughts. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of need to be prepared also. So it's a fine line. And hopefully the makers of these pens will catch up with everybody else. It's not the medication that's in shortage, that's a manufacturing issue. It's the pen itself that the medication goes in, versus you having to give it yourself with an insulin needle. So I heard somebody mention on here that the pens are more complex than a lot of people realize, and I would imagine. But at the same time, if you're in the business of making these pens and you're putting this stuff out here and you're now doing it, you know, as you've got zip bound for weight loss, and you know the epidemic of this country as far as obesity goes and all of that, then maybe step up your game. Get them pins made, y'all. I mean, come on. Let's get this ball rolling. But anyway, I'm not going to go on with that because, like I said, I don't follow enough of that to get on here and like give a very informed opinion on that. I just know that if you know something is in demand, do what you got to do. Maybe get the pin game on point before you release the Zep Bound. I mean, okay, so if you've not done so already, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you are having trouble getting your prescription, or you're fearful that you're going to have trouble getting your subscription, Lord God, leave me a comment below and let me know like, what your plan is. What do you have a plan B? What's going through your mind right now? Like what's your game plan? Because inquiring minds want to know. And as in inquiring minds, I mean me. And I want to know. What should I be doing at this point? I forgot to mention too about these ginger chews. If you don't know, if you've never had ginger, it does have a little bit of a spicy kick to it. This one, which is my favorite, the mango, it reminds me of like a frozen treat that I get in Tennessee. Is it a snow cone? Like a tropical snow type thing from a truck that comes around, and they have like the spicy mango treats. That's what this one reminds me of. And kind of like that, there's a candy, hot tamales, that and this. No, that one wasn't the one that reminded me of the hot tamale. Maybe it was. Yeah, it's this one. It's the mango. It's like a cross between, it's like when I first chew it, I get the hot tamale feeling. And then afterwards, I'm like, no, that's that frozen treat from the truck. So, yeah. If you like that kind of thing, you'll like that. But again, I mean, you're on these shots to, you know, help with weight loss or A1C or both, a combination. So you can't really, you know, I wouldn't sit around eating the candy all day, but you know, keeping it around for me and for the nausea. I think I'll keep them on hand. But I also use the antacid Alka-Seltzer. Tums both have it out, those brands, and Walmart has their own brand too. They work really well. I get the one with the added gas relief because since VSG surgery, I have issue with trapped gas really bad, and it's painful. Like, it stops me in my tracks. So I just go ahead and get that and just like knock several birds out with one stone. Something that I did also notice week 5 that increased was heartburn. I noticed it on in the first month when I was on 2.5, but it was worse last week. Typically, I don't have an issue as long as I remember to take my Prilosec, and I can usually eat whatever I want and not get heartburn. So I'm definitely thinking that the increase in the heartburn is shot related, because it's like I'm still experiencing the heartburn and I've not skipped my Prilosec. So I've noticed that. I did feel a little more tired this week, and it was like midweek. So that's my week 5 recap on my first 5 milligram shot in my belly, and I will check back in with you guys in a week and show you what I ate, if the side effects were any different versus my belly and the thigh, if the hunger suppression was any different, and all that jazz. So thanks for watching. I hope everybody's well. See you guys in a week.